Hi there YouTube friends and SEO, welcome back to Auntie A's kitchen. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe that's very close to my heart because it reminds me of home, Salmon Wellington. And in fact every time I go home, usually my parents cook this for me and my dad taught me this recipe. So a quick shout out to my parents, lots of love from South Korea, dedicate this video to you guys. This Salmon Wellington not only tastes incredible, in today's video I'm going to show you how easy it is to prepare in a spectacular way. We're going to encase our salmon with some wonderful homemade puff pastry that is light and flaky. We're going to serve it with some homemade, simple to make hollandaise sauce. I think you're going to love today's recipe. Thanks for watching. Let's get cooking.
The first thing you might need to do is to remove the skin from your salmon. I bought this piece of salmon with no skin, so I get on with cutting. And if you want to make a larger Salmon Wellington for the family, then just use a bigger piece of salmon than me. Place one piece of salmon on top of the other, then cut and shape into your fish. Any offcuts we'll use to form the tail and fins. Once your fish is cut up, you can prepare the pastry. I have a really easy rough puff pastry recipe if you're interested, or if you have no time to make any, then just use shop-bought puff pastry. If you do use my rough puff pastry recipe, then I'm using half of the quantity that the recipe makes. We want the salmon to be the main flavour, so we're going to keep the seasoning simple. Just a layer of butter, dill and some salt and pepper. You can dress your salmon up in many different ways, but you need to be careful as if there is too much moisture, your pastry won't be light and flaky. Today I'm using some dried herb, but if you have some fresh dill, feel free to use it. Next, cut the pastry that you think you'll need for the body, then place your salmon into the middle near the top, and at the same time whisk up an egg and have that ready at the side. I turn my salmon face down as I will fold the pastry under the salmon where it won't show. Then all you need to do is wrap your salmon up until it is fully encased in the pastry. Any excess pastry cut off and set aside as we will use these pieces later. In my family it's traditional when we're making Salmon Wellington to make a shark or a fish shape, and for Valentine's Day it's perfect as you can give it to your loved ones and say, I'm hooked on you. At the end of the day, take this recipe, have fun with it and put your own creative twist on it. Use a little of the egg that we just whisked up to help seal and stick the pastry together. Once your salmon is completely covered with your puff pastry, flip it back over and place on an oven tray covered with some baking paper. Make sure to leave some room for the tail and fins to be added. Next, you can finish making and covering the tail and fins using the scraps of salmon that we cut earlier. I do this in exactly the same way, cutting off any excess pastry and using the egg wash to stick it together. While the video is playing on the screen, can I quickly jump in and just say a big thank you to everyone who's watching. I really appreciate all of your support and I hope you continue to enjoy all of the simple and delicious recipes as much as I do making them. And for all of the new subscribers this week, you can find a list of the ingredients and the recipe instructions below each video in the description. Coming back to the video, once you've added the fins and the tail with a little egg wash to your fish, it's time for the creative part. I use a garlic press to cut out circles for the scales. I cut out strips of pastry for the fins, as well as some teeth just for fun. The puff pastry as it cooks will really accentuate your design, so take your time making your masterpiece. Everyone will think that you've spent hours on it, so don't tell anyone our secret how easy this really is to make. Once you've finished decorating, cover with a little bit of egg wash and place into your preheated oven 180°C for about 30 minutes until golden brown. While the Salmon Wellington finishes cooking, we'll make a quick egg hollandaise together. So place 3 egg yolks into a container, and today I'm going to show you by using a hand blender. Add some lemon juice, season with salt and pepper, cayenne pepper, and I like to add a dash of mustard, then get this mixed in well. After mixing for about a minute, add your melted butter slowly and keep mixing. This will not only stop your sauce from splitting, but the eggs from being scrambled. And keep mixing until you have a wonderful creamy sauce, and don't forget to have a taste so that you can add any extra seasoning if needed. A quick tip I learned from Jamie Oliver is to place your hollandaise in a flask, and this will help keep it warm until you're ready to use it. After 30 minutes and your Salmon Wellington is golden brown, remove from the baking tray, ready to serve up. Your pastry will be light and flaky, and inside you will have a perfectly cooked and seasoned salmon fit for a king or queen to eat. I like to serve a few runner beans with the Salmon Wellington and a generous drizzle of that homemade hollandaise sauce. Then all that's left to do is to enjoy this with family and friends. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless. Chop bok ham na da.